Renaissance Fair is a project in which students are to create a museum-quality display about some aspect of the Renaissance. So that's very broad. They choose the theme, they choose the areas to study, they choose the artifacts they want to use, they choose the traffic flow. Start to finish, it's their project.
What's going on here? Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Shut it off, Brady. Shut it off. Shut it off!
I think it's a great idea to do the fair, especially since it's kind of like an actual tie-in to real world. Like, you have to actually do something with the information instead of just storing it in your brain somewhere.
Beyond that, I'm hoping that it teaches them just how to work in a very driven, ambitious group and yet work together. Honor students are used to being kind of lone wolves sometimes, so this teaches them, which I think is probably a useful skill in the real world, that you have to work with people and you have to rely on them, and you have to know that if you can't rely on them, sometimes that means more work for yourself, but you get it done.
Compromising your ideas.
Compromising.
Is that working well?
No.
Oh. It's
it's
a
a
work
work
in
in
progress. I mean, the big problem is you're trying to get like 50 people working on the same thing. And there's a lot of ideas that come from 50 people, and it's hard to get them all unified and compromising.
There are a lot of leaders and not enough followers, I feel like.
There are a lot of leaders, yes.
Procrastination obviously is a huge deal for almost all of the years that I've seen the Renaissance Fair take place. Students will put things off like they do with anything else, and it's sort of a race to the finish.
Yeah.
We have a long road ahead of us.
Even though it's only
November
2.5 weeks
It's only
away.
2.5. Okay.
Actually, I think
Next one.
What has impressed me so far with this year's group is, you may not feel like it, but there's a very high level of organization that has gone into this. There's never been a year where students have organized committees that actually accomplished anything. Most other years it's much more organic.
He is wrong because there are 8 or 9 people in my committee and there are 3 people who have done work. One of those is a half of a person.
The level of antagonism might be a little higher than average, but not much. And again, I think it's because you have a large number of very passionate people who have a very clear idea of what they want to see happen. There's going to be clashes in those situations.
Shut up!
We went over our budget.
that's fine.
By like $20.
Did you guys spend more?
Yeah, we had to buy PVC pipe stuff.
Hey, why don't we save that in case we
Literally, we did it today.
You still didn't tell me.
Josh, cry about this spreadsheet.
do we have?
I created a spreadsheet. It's under the economics,
Oh no,
it's
he
right
always
next to.
uses Excel. He
No,
uses,
it's
he uses Excel.
no. He uses a Word document and adds it up himself.
I look as powerful as I feel right now.
Do you want to appear in the video that way?
Yes.
All right.
Do I look as powerful as I feel? Yes, it does.
Okay, I'll get more of the chair then.
I've been sort of intrigued by the time you spent establishing voting procedures and things like that. That I haven't had a group do that before.
Natural. It's just gonna be natural eventually. They're barely in there.
Well, eventually,
Well,
maybe
I don't think
once we
any of them
have
are
these
actually gonna come
once
to
we have these
office.
meetings, they're gonna actually have stuff to talk about.
Right, well, they need to understand that if
And
they don't
then
show up,
the
they don't
other
get a vote.
thing is
So it seems like
I say this nicely.
there's been a lot of frustration because there's very little communication between 4th hour and the other hours. I think part of it was because nobody was communicating with us, and part of it was that our representatives weren't communicating with us. And so we were left kind of in the lurch, and that came back to bite us because we weren't deliberately being neglectful, we just didn't know what was happening very much. And I think that once these meetings started up, it's going a lot smoother, people are more involved, but the 4th hour is more than twice the size of any of the other classes, which means that when we only have people not communicating or not working, it makes a big difference.
Who's in favor?
Three people from 4th hour at the first meeting, so I was mad at my class and I was mad at everybody else. Part of the issue was that nobody was listening. When we tried to get our opinions across, they were ready to not listen, they were ready to beat us down. And so it was very frustrating when they weren't even considering what we were trying to say. And so more than half of 4th hour's work was thrown down the drain.
Them has to at least be able to like come
Or at least
tell
one
us
representative
before.
has to be at the meetings because if you're a representative,
Or the
you're gonna be-
representatives have to let
There has
the
to
other
be,
hours
they
know in
have to
advance,
have
hey, this
input
person is
because
going to
they're the
represent me, and
representatives.
I've told them and prepared them with
And I was basically the only two people there from 4th hour, and so we were kind of forced to tell everyone why we decided that the Holy Roman Empire wasn't going to work, why we had switched with Spain to give them France, and where we were, and then the whole thing kind of got scrapped, which kind of made most of the hour a little
almost, the meetings could be almost democratic in a sense. Whoever speaks up can speak up.
I mean, we can all just try better to communicate in the group chat with some things for the different hours.
We're just going to encourage them to be more proactive, but we're
A month before the fair for 2nd hour to realize that Spain wouldn't work. That's 4th hour's problem. That's not our problem. You guys are the ones who assigned it to us. You guys assigned a bunch of crap to us that we were assigned
Okay, back to your point where you were viewed.
So it was frustrating.
3 separate classes, and they decided they were going to try and get some communication going. But the person from 0 hour and the person from 2nd hour and the person from 1st hour didn't really know what was going on. So he kind of went over here. He thought somebody from 4th hour and 2nd hour was going to show up, but they didn't because 4th hour thought that we were going over here, and 2nd hour was trying to connect with 0 hour, but it didn't happen. So that was terrible and awful. And then we tried again, and we used this nice whiteboard over here. It's a huge thing that everybody can see. So they all look at their whiteboard. So then we all, oh my God, turn to look at the whiteboard. Wow, look at this. Okay, so then things start getting done. So then somebody from 2nd hour goes up and writes on the whiteboard. A few people from 4th hour go up and start writing in the whiteboard. Oh no, passive aggressive. 0 hour goes up. Oh man. The Great War of Passive Aggressiveness happens, and everything just gets a little bit tense for a few days, a few weeks, anyway. So, yes, the passive aggressiveness passes, right? And then we all kind of freak out because we realize that this project was coming up and we actually have to do something now. So we decide to have a little meeting, and mostly, let's just say most of 0 hour shows up, 3 people from 2nd hour show up, and 4 people from 4th hour show up. We figure stuff out, we get some good things going, and then everybody goes back to their hours and relays the information, and we start to make progress. We start to make really good progress. And this is where we're at today. We're all converging on the Renaissance Fair, and it is about to go down. And the whiteboard gets destroyed.
And then everything's happy again.
Yep.
Friday's going to
And then we all become
And then we all just, everything goes,
They're all still
And
Friday's going to be fantastic, and it's going to turn out really good.
There's going to be something happening on
we'll
Friday.
all end up being friends, and we'll just look behind us, and then everyone lives happily ever after.
Day of the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, no.
We got locked out, and then we went around, and we went downstairs, and we got locked out again, and then we went around and upstairs and saw Mr. Ream opening the door for other people. So that's about how today's going for me right
So
now.
pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
So, what's going on right now?
Right now, we are setting up the last of the tulip and decorating all of the different parts. And we had a slight scuffle over some we had a slight scuffle over some lights that the lighting committee did not approve of, but we are forging ahead, and that's where we're at right now during 11:17, 4th hour.
That person was quickly shot down.
No hard feelings. Okay.
Okay. Just go?
Yep.
Okay, so right now I'm like pinning fabric to like connect these two tents and all. Honestly, today has gone a lot better than expected. There were some like cat fights at the beginning of the day with people and... Okay, this is prop. Okay.
So far, so good. I think you guys are very organized. I like the agenda on the whiteboard that you guys wrote up. And you made pretty good use of the slave labor from my freshman and sophomores.
Hey, how is everything going?
Where's my brick?
I've been ironing tablecloths for a while. It's very therapeutic, so I feel like I'm at a lower stress level than most of the people in this room. I don't know about you.
I waited for my tablecloths for a long time, but now I got them, so I'm good. Groovy.
It's been pretty successful. It's been a good day. Our tents for the Italian side are done.
Tents are a little behind though.
After lunch, it's kind of go time.
We're in a lull.
We're in a lull.
We're waiting around, and it sucks. But you know what? We're gonna get it done.
We are. It's been a good day. Not a lot of fighting. The beginning was a little rough, but we got that figured out.
England's got some high tensions right now.
There's high tensions in England.
Because they feel like they're behind, which they're not. But it seems like they are, but they're actually not. So
We need to get the tables moved, though.
I will do that.
We might go do that right now.
Lunch is over, and we are waiting for them to move the tables so we can start setting up the English half of the Renaissance Fair. And look at how many little bubbles we have left to do. Two of them. Wow.
Who's your buddy?
Day's almost over.
Who's your buddy?
Oh, this is a Italian merchant. He lost his hands in a tragic accident because the workers' comp wasn't good, so he's now sitting here begging for money and food because he can't work for his family anymore. It's really unfortunate. And that is where we were at, 6th hour, day 1 of the Renaissance Fair.
I honestly just want to take a nap.
How do you spell Medici?
Medici.
Qyz.
So an app.
Overall, we have made many friends, and we all love each other, and we never argue over anything.
Good job, Olga.
I'm not gonna include everything. Jeez.